Are you looking for a faster video? Well, today it's a live stream, and I know you're probably looking for a really nice and tidy, edited down video, but I have ways for you to make it faster. You can click that little gear on the YouTube settings right there on the video and adjust the playback speed, make me sound like a chipmunk, and it'll go a lot faster. You can also look and see if there's timestamps for this project in the description, and if you're on a desktop, you can hover over the time bar at the bottom of the screen and see if it's chunked up into chapters, and then that way you can go directly to the step you're looking for. And lastly, you can also tap on the screen on the right hand side of the video picture or on the left hand side to make the video jump ahead, forward or backward if you're on a mobile device. And you can adjust that amount in your settings so you can have complete control over how much it jumps. So if you are on a desktop, you can use the fast forward or the rewind, and that will make it go faster as well. You can also enable subtitles, and the little CC on the screen will enable closed captioning. That way, if I am a little bit harder to understand with that double playback speed, the subtitles might help you out. All right, well, I know that it's not a nice little edited video, but if you sew with me, we'll get there together and it'll be lots of fun. And now for the live stream. Happy sewing! Hey Beverly, mine too. How are you? Good to see you, good to see you. I moved the camera over the machine. Is that okay with you guys, or do you care? I moved it over for a video yesterday, and I forgot to move it back, and I kind of like it over here. There's like all this space, you know? So, hey Margaret, how's it going? Hey Aisha. Aw, it's so fun to see the emote. Sorry, there's like a hair in my eye. Okay, so I said I was going to do the Charlie caftan repair today. I will if you guys want me to. I need to know now because I think it's going to be a little involved. But I was also thinking that maybe saving it for Saturday would be better. I feel like that if someone has to do something like that, they may get more out of it than me making an ironing board cover. I don't know. Hey Amy, how's it going? Yeah, so, and then I'll make some more bags. So we're just sewing and chilling this week, chatting. We chill every week, right? Except we have sewing rage sometimes. No, I'm just teasing. I've almost rage quit like, what, twice in 4 years? Okay, so I cut out this ironing board cover when I cut the other one out. Remember when I replaced mine? Hey, Barbara. And I never sewed it. I don't actually need it really badly. My ironing board cover here is meh. It's okay, but I hardly use it. So it's not like my one at home, which was this orange one, which was literally like falling apart, you know? So I cut this out and I thought I'd just sew it together today just to get it done, you know? Because I will forget how this goes together. I mean, look at this is my pattern piece. It's like pinned together. This is a piece of paper taped to the end. So, yeah. It's not a very sophisticated pattern here. All right, here's the nose of the ironing board. And I think I actually watched my video on how to sew this. Hey, Amy, thanks for becoming a member. I really need to rename these levels. I hope I can rename these levels. Pretty sure I can. I didn't know how they were going to show up. Welcome to Get the Emotes. I feel like people think I'm really, really creative, you know? But there are moments, many moments, where it is proven otherwise, like that. Like naming things. You like my little pug? That's my one for like when I go off on a tangent. I'm waiting for Shem, you know, to be like, spam the pug. She's on a tangent. She's distracted. Okay, so this is the back, and this is the front. All right, right. So we're gonna, and I think, oh, wait, I need to see. This says something right here. Okay, this is the board side, and that's the back. Okay, so this is the board side. All right, and that's the back. All right, so this one goes on the side here, and this one goes on the side here. All right, keeping them straight, you know? Keeping them straight. I'm just gonna dive in. I'm just gonna start going. I kind of want the, I don't know why, but I'm not into making this ironing board cover like I was the first time. Even though, like, it really was one of the most satisfying things I've made, so. Yeah, that's true, Barbara. But I think with having the guild be already like labeled like that. Hi, Nancy. I don't know. I'm always trying to say it's not based on your ability. Like, all are welcome, obviously, you know. I don't want people to think like you have to be a certain level. So it's an anything goes week, Nancy. So right now I am making the other ironing board cover that I didn't finish making last time. This tension is really bad right here, but it's because I had just threaded the needle. So I'm just gonna go over it one more time. Did you guys see the Pikes Vest by Wardrobe by Me came out? And I made the how-to video, and it was a really fun project. So I'm really happy. I mean, obviously I'm happy that the pattern's out, but like, I'm not like an ambassador or anything. I guess I do have an affiliate thing, but I never mention things like that. And I just remembered just now, and I've already shared it on my YouTube community page and on my Instagram page. But I'm just excited to share the pictures because my husband had wanted the vest for this annual bike ride called the Tweed Ride, where everyone dresses kind of like in the 20s period. And so I was like, all right, well, you have to get dressed like that for the photos. So you recognize those hands? So that's so funny because Terry messaged me. She goes, oh my gosh, Saremy, I just watched the whole how-to video and I'm down for this pattern. And I was like, it's up, it's out. I know I was subscribed to her channel, but when I went to visit it today, I wasn't subscribed to her channel. So I don't know why. So maybe that's what happened is people got notified with the channel. Look at this is my old ironing board cover. Look at this. I just want you to feel all good about yourselves. This is like totally a case of the cobbler's children, right? This is what it looked like when I bought it. And to be fair, it was in one piece and then suddenly it just started like shredding. Like in one day, all of that happened. So that's when I was like, okay, now I need a new cover. All right, so here's a piece of wool felt. One thing I found with this new ironing board cover that I made was I put wool felt behind it. I used the batting from the old cover too, and this time I don't have that because that cover is still pretty fine. So I'm not gonna rip it apart while it's still fine, you know. But I will put this one layer of wool felt under here. It's really bright on the camera, huh? It looks terrible on the camera. Wow, it looks a little better in person. This actually was a game changer on my ironing board. Was using wool felt. It really holds the heat in, and I just used it basically because I have it. It looks sun faded, I know. I'm gonna go to my pattern table. I'm not sure my microphone's working over there, but I'm just gonna go to my pattern table and lay this out really quick. Which is this one here. Oh, sorry, I got some stuff on here. Just real quick, we'll lay this out. There we go. Okay. I should have done that yesterday. Hey Martina, how's it going? Last time you bought an ironing board cover, about 2 of them. Yeah. Oh, you washed yours? Yeah, exactly, Amy. I know. And I don't think I was being that clever when I chose the wool felt. I really was just looking for something, some extra padding, because the padding that comes with your ironing board cover really isn't very much. And I don't like feeling the metal underneath. Plus, it's been used, you know, so it's like mashed down. And I have a lot of extra wool felt. Hey, Sydney. How's it going? Oh, you did hear me fine? Thanks, Michelle. Thanks for telling me that. Yeah, so I used it. And then when I was using it, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of nice, you know? So, all right, so let's attach this on here. The thing is, this thing goes together pretty quickly from what I remember. All right, so I know that I have some markings. Oh, I have to do some pleats at the back here. Yeah, that's right. I have to do some pleats. Here we go. There's one, but I don't see the, wait. Oh, this is the back. Never mind. Like, I'm trying to remember how this goes together. I had to watch my video, like I said. Okay, this is the center. Maybe that's the center. No, Sydney, drama. Oh, you know, the people who installed our solar, I think I told you the story that when they installed our solar, they hit a water line. All right, they hit a water line when they were doing the trenching. Not only did they hit the water line, the water was electric. Like, it was electrified because they hit the underground, like, wires as well. Like, they were next to each other. I don't know. And the guy found out it was electric by reaching into the water and getting a shock. So it could have gone really badly, right? All right, so fast forward. We have a water leak, and we've had it since then. And we're on a well. So it's just one of those things that makes me kind of mad, you know? And they just won't come out and fix it. I'm just like getting kind of mad. Why is this so asymmetrical? Oh, there we go. Okay, I just didn't have it folded right. I don't know. It's still very, very asymmetrical. All right, so I'm pretty sure this is a gigantic pleat like this. I'm hoping. Okay, wait. It's up here though, right? Yeah. Right? I hope so. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, man, I just don't remember. Sorry. Vacation you need, yeah. Yeah, well, that whole stress with Milu, that's a lot. When you're stressed about a critter, you know, or a kiddo, same thing. Okay. This isn't right. I know I put a piece of elastic in here too. That's why I'm kind of, I feel like, shoot, I know this goes like this, but I think that this gets, oh, this is the edge. Okay, okay, wait. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. I had turned myself around. All right, I get it now. I don't know why, but I keep thinking this inner thing is where the ironing board cover goes. It's the outer edge. Okay. It's the outer edge. Okay, so let's just check it now. Let's see. Okay, that looks pretty good then. Okie dokie. All right, so let's just attach this on here. Let's find the center. There's the center. Oh, Sydney, I have been there. Hey, Karen, welcome. Thanks for subscribing. Are you new to live streams? Do you like live streams in general? It's not a test. Oof, Sydney, I know that one so much. Yeah. She's 9. Yeah, it can be overwhelming. Like once they get a tiny little bit behind, it can kind of snowball. They just don't do it at all, you know? All right. So, Karen, this isn't my usual format. I usually sew a project every week. And I will cut it out on Wednesdays, yesterday. And then I sew part 1 on Thursdays today and part 2 on Saturday. But I'm kind of catching up on a bunch of cut things in my bins right now. So that's why I called it Anything Goes Week. And this is an ironing board cover that I cut and sewed earlier in the spring. I cut 2. This is a little bit crooked. There we go. All right, it's all lining up. Okay, I figured out the pleats correctly. Phew. Oh, Barbara. I guess the benefits of missing choir practice is the makeup homework isn't so bad. Yeah, that shy thing. One of my, like, one of my favorite books that I've read was by Rainbow Rowell. Have any of you read her books, Rainbow Rowell? All right, well, she wrote this one book called Fangirl, and it's really cute. And it's these twins that go to college, and they couldn't be more different from one another, right? Even though they're identical. And visually identical, right? And she learned, like the protagonist, the one twin that you are with, she finds out like when she arrives on campus that her sister picked a dorm, like a completely different dorm, and did not want a room with her or anything. And she just was like, just wanted a totally different experience, right? And so this twin has to like basically navigate college on her own because her very extroverted sister is off having a really great time with all of her new friends. And this one is like, I'm getting to the point that why this relates to you, Barbara, about your experience. This gal won't even go to the like cafeteria to eat. And her roommate's just like, what is this? This girl is weird, right? And so she's living off snack bars that she has like a box of under her bed that she brought with her to college. And then, her roommate is kind of this like kind of edgy compared to her, especially, you know, gal. Not a first year, a little bit more sophisticated. But then she finally was like, you gotta eat food, you know? But it was that whole thing that she was so nervous to go into the mess hall. And I just related to this so much, and I just thought it's a really sweet book. I really loved it. I like all her books, but they're really, I don't know, they're really cool. Hi, Amanda. Yeah, cool, Karen, yeah. Oh, Amanda, that's awesome. What are you making? Well, Aisha, I mean, there's also the whole thing of like the teacher could have been sending home notes that didn't make it. Yeah. I mean, when you get into upper grades, they have like a whole online thing. Oh, it's Montessori. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, see, living with other people, Barbara, like to kind of soften the blow of going out in the world. And I think that's what her twin did for her. I just love that book. I don't know, you know what? I should see if she's written anything, because at one point I read all of her books. Like there's a hilarious book where these two, it's like basically the chat messages between these two girls who are best friends and they work at the same place. And the IT guy that is hired to clamp down on people like surfing the net on their free time, or not during their work time, really, shopping, looking at inappropriate sites on their work time, right? And just the hiring of this guy makes everybody stop. But these two gals don't realize he can see all of their messages to each other, and he's so entertained by them that he basically reads them all, which is not okay, right? But he starts falling for one of them, and I don't know, it's another really cute story. So, and then there's Eleanor and Park. I just love all of her books. They're just really good. They're very teen. They're not. One of them is very teen angsty, and it's just a little too much for me. And that was the follow-up to Fangirl. Hey, Matilda. But all these others are just. I just think she captures people's personalities really well, and I like that. I like books about people. Next Friday. Boy, they're not worried about it, are they, Sydney? You're sewing the mushroom shirt? That's awesome. I need to pick out binding. That's why I'm pausing here. This is almost done, though. I think last time, I think I'm going to use this one here. This will work. No one's going to even see it. Do you? Oh, Anna, I actually think you would like this woman's books. I mean, I don't know you, but I know you enough. Oh my gosh. And I think you should start with Fangirl. Because here's the other element to Fangirl. The twin who is on her own, that is the protagonist of the book, she's also she writes fan fiction, and she's huge. Like, she's massive in the fan fiction world for a series that suspiciously looks like Harry Potter, right? So she writes fan fiction for it. And so in her little online world, she's a superstar. But in person on campus, she's very shy and introverted and everything. Yeah, right, Anna? Me too. Yeah. So, and it's just really sweet. There's a big chunk out of this wool. It's just really sweet. There's a big chunk out of this wool felt. Oh well. Oh, dang, Sydney. Well, good luck with that. All right, I'm going to pull my binding kind of tight to kind of cinch up this outer edge, because I'm not going to put elastic in it. It originally had elastic bungee. I don't have any elastic bungee, and I don't really feel like putting elastic in the case. This was actually enough to do when I did it last time. Fan fiction, Amy, is when, say, there's, and it's massive, Amy. It is huge. I can't get into it because it borders on romance, and I'm not a big fan of romance. A lot of times it borders on romance. So people will write stories using characters from actual books. So basically, they're expanding on the author's storyline by writing their own versions. And because it's not monetized, they can get away with it. So it's basically fiction written by fans of fiction, a story, you know, so. Oh, you don't know who we're talking about. Oh, I was saying that, well, we were talking about like being introverted and keeping things from our parents because we just didn't want to tell them we were too shy to do something or whatever. And I was telling them about the book Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. It totally reminded me of it. I just love that book. But at the time I read her books, I had read all of them, and now I'm thinking about it, I bet I'm behind. You do, Martina? That's awesome. So like I learned like there's a whole thing for lots of popular. I feel like you see it a lot in like YA type of things or in fantasy type stuff. But I'll bet that there's like a huge thing of fan fiction for like the Outlander series. That would be the perfect series for there to be massive amounts of fan fiction for. So if you're just like a super fan and you just want more, or you and your friends are always like coming up with like, what if so-and-so got together, or what if this happened? And then you start writing it and everything and people follow it and you know, it gets more and more popular in those circles. Or Jane Austen. Yeah, there's Jane Austen fan fiction. Absolutely. Yeah, so people were always trying to get me into it. And like I said, I'm just, I have nothing against romance and stuff, but I just don't know why. I just don't really like it. So, and I feel like a lot of fan fiction gets into the into romance and stuff. I really hope I'm putting this together correctly and I'm remembering it. You know, I probably could have used my binding attachment for this, left one little seam open, right, like this little short seam right here open, and I could have gone all the way around. I'm not surprised, Sydney. I am not surprised. I think that, have you guys heard of Tumblr? Tumblr is the literary fan fiction social media for people who like that. That's their Instagram. Literally, that's their Instagram. Yeah, and it's not formally published exactly. Oh, really? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Was it Simon and what's his name? Simon and something. We can't remember the name. So the follow-up to Fangirl ends up being that girl's fan fiction. And it was really hard for me to get through because it was very romance, teen angst driven. Parents said it was profane. Oh my God. Yeah. Her stuff's very real. It's very, oh, Eleanor and Park. Okay, that's one of my favorites. That is a tough book. There's some kids, oh no. There's some kids going through some really tough stuff in that book, but it's real. I just don't know this whole thing of people saying, anyway, I won't get into that, but highly recommend Eleanor and Park. Highly. So good. That was absolutely something. There's another one where it's called Landline. And I can't remember the whole premise of this book, but there's a phone. How does it work? It's a phone, and it's like they talk. She talks into the phone to herself in the 80s or something like that. I can't remember, but it was still equally clever. I think Fangirl is probably what really put Rainbow Rowell on the map. But yeah. Anyway. Now I'm going to reread. I have all those as audiobooks. Except I got the print version of Fangirl. Oh, and I got Eleanor and Park. Those are just so good. Pleading that, or woo, what is that? Did I just cut that? Or I did. There we go. Oh no, I didn't catch that pleat. I could have gotten away with that. I just don't really care a whole lot about this, like the quality of this. So sorry if I'm disappointing any of you. All right. So once I put this on, I just need to attach the Velcro straps and that little piece of elastic that's gonna cinch the back. And so that little piece will kind of hold it onto the board, you know? Oh yeah, so then you would probably, if you end up liking Fangirl, you're gonna really like the follow-up book to it, because it's literally her fan fiction, and it's a love story between two of the characters that actually doesn't happen in the original author's work. So. All right. Okay. Well, it sounds like y'all have been having some tough weeks. Are you guys ready for the end of the week? Your Friday is tomorrow, right? I'm kind of excited. Like, people are pretty interested in doing this button-down sew-along, which I think is going to be a great way to end the year together, starting in November. And I'm going to start my pattern matching filming tomorrow for October, so it'll be good. Yeah, I hope you like it. If you, oh, can I still do that? Dang, I've been an audible.com member for a really long time. Kind of embarrassing how long. And I used to be able to give a free audiobook as many times as I want. I'm not currently a member because I have a few credits that I wanted to get caught up on before I became a member again. Me and Rayanne used to go through something like 30 books a year, and so the last 2 years of my business, when I didn't have her, all the books piled up. So it was like 40 book credits. So I had to use them up, and I was like, okay, I can't take any more until I finish. And I've almost gotten through all of them. But I can see if I can give you the free audiobook, Anna. I can remember to do that. If you like audiobooks. It's such a great thing when, like when I used to nurse and stuff, I would listen to an audiobook. Okay, we made it all the way around. Perfect way to practice binding when you don't really care too much, right? Okay, here's the nose of the ironing board. And then, where is that back part? Here we go. I know I have a little piece of elastic kind of kicking around here because I cut off a little piece yesterday. Here we go. Dang, Matilda. Someone want to clean your craft room. I don't think you'd like how I'd clean it. You have an unknown number of people coming to my backyard and probably my bathroom yesterday to launch a day of canvassing set. Oof. That's stressing me out. Why are there all these little threads back here? I don't think I start and stopped there. Is this, oh, maybe this is where I had that little hiccup. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna stick this piece of elastic right here. This is definitely a quick and dirty way to do this. But if there's something you never look at, it's the underside of your ironing board. So I remember thinking I shouldn't have wasted all my cute binding on binding the perimeter last time once I saw it on the ironing board. I was like, oh, no one sees that. Oh, nice, Amy. Yeah, I don't know why I bought so much of this ice cream fabric. We all know how ice cream is, I think, an absolutely perfect food in general. But I had enough to make 2 whole ironing board covers. It's quilting cotton, so it's not like I can make clothes out of it, but I do think that's why I got it. I was like, oh, this is kind of cute. I'll make a Amelia dress, which is a bias cut dress. No. It's so much cuter as an ironing board cover. All right, so here's my Velcro straps. And I need to find, I did put some markings on the fabric, but I'm not sure where I did that now. Let's see. Maybe I can't tell. I know I want them at the shoulders of the board. This is the nose right here, so like right here would be good. Right? Oh my gosh. My garbage can is full enough that if anything touches the top of it, it gets threadified, you know? Oh, nice, Anna. That's great. Okay. Oh, this used to have like a little loop. That's funny, this is still in here. It's a piece of plastic. So this used to have like a D-ring right here. It came out right here. And then you would loop the Velcro back like that. And then I changed this so that I didn't need it to have the loop. It broke. Yeah, that mushroom fabric is really cute. We've seen it. It was in her sling bag. Where's the shoulders of the board here? I think it's about right here. I'm gonna put it right here. Like right there. Hey Michelle, how's it going? I'm just trying to make sure I get it kind of straight across, you know, from it. Hey Hannah, how's it going? Welcome back. Should have probably pinned the others on there. All right. So I got ready today and I put on the Upton dress that I fixed. No, this is my second one that I cut out, Michelle. I never sewed it. Hi, Sue, how's it going? No, my other one's doing really good. I love it. So I put on my Upton dress today. I was pretty excited to wear it finally because it, you know, it had that weird rip in it. And so it was nice to fix it yesterday. And then I went to walk downstairs and I was just like, I don't know. I felt a little self-conscious wearing a full-on, like, you know, red dress to work. Do you guys dress, because of your me-mades and stuff, do you feel like your style is a little bit more, like, different than what you see in the stores? I mean, I pretty much only have me-mades at this point, right? So, like, this dress I'm wearing, it has animals on it, you know, it's like the woodland creature print or whatever. This looks very normal to me because I've been in the sewing world for so long and we've seen all the different fabrics out there and we see them on Instagram and we see them in the fabric stores, right? It becomes very normal to us because we're used to seeing these fabrics and we're used to seeing them sewn into things. But I feel like that has warped how like what I look like, how it's perceived. Do you know what I mean? Like wearing the red Upton dress, I wanted a red dress at the time. I like the Upton dress. I made it. It's actually very casual fabric, but it's a red dress. Hannah, thanks for subscribing or becoming a member. I need an alert for this. Why isn't it popping up? I don't know. I think like it's kind of like how when we see someone, well, I don't really know what I was about to say. Or it's like how when we talk about not wanting to look like Becky Homecki, you know. What's the other term for that? I don't know. So I immediately was like, I don't know, this just doesn't look like, I feel like I'm calling attention to myself, and I don't like calling attention to myself. I know I am a streamer. You probably think I'm attention seeking, whatever. But I'm never going to be able to combat that kind of mystique. No, nothing's wrong with the red dress. Watch for the red. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Beverly, but I don't have my markings visible, so we're winging it. Nothing's wrong with a red dress. I just feel like if you saw me walking down the street in a red dress, oh, see, this one does have the D-ring here. I do feel like it's very much looks, it's noticeable. Yeah, okay, Michelle, I get you. Yeah, and that's it, right? Right, Michelle? That's what I think. Michelle Strickland. I feel like, yeah, you got to wear those things. Okay. I was kind of surprised by I was disappointed in myself for changing. You know what I mean? I was kind of like, did I just give in to peer pressure that wasn't even there? It'd be like, you know, well, maybe this isn't a good comparison, but in a way, like, what if you made you know, like when Amy Manorino made the gold lame jumpsuit, she's wearing that to the Lady Gaga concert, right? We don't just go to the store in that. Yeah, right, Nancy? I feel like that's what I'm starting to do too. Who am I? And I think that one of the things I pride myself on with most of my makes is that you can't tell I've made them. And I don't mean by my skill, I mean by some of my fabric selections. And so people don't suspect, right? It's not a conversation. I'm not looking for that recognition, in other words. All right, this is done. I hope it's done. Right, Mrs. Frizzle's dresses, exactly. Red always draws attention. Yeah. This looks funny, like my arm's over here. I mean, this is directly in front of me. Well, actually, it seems okay. All right. So I'm going to fix the Charlie Kaftan tomorrow. Let's do some... Well, I feel like this bag making is kind of boring for you guys, so you can pick if you want. I could do the accordion, which is probably a little interesting because it's hard. Yeah, I get that, Amy. And that's the funny thing is, like, I only wear jeans as pants for the most part, right? So all my shirts are kind of printy. And when I have a few pairs of print pants or colored pants, and then I can't wear any of my shirts with them. I have one white shirt. It's like, who wins the white shirt this week of my wardrobe? I hate that I'm actually thinking about this in some ways, you know, because I'm such a big proponent of, like, who cares what people think? I don't even see anybody. And my husband was in a meeting. Otherwise, I would have been like, yo, is this like screaming for attention? Because, you know, he always says, you know, nice things though. So, I don't know if he would say it was too much. All right, I'll wear it tomorrow. I'm not streaming tomorrow. Well, I am streaming tomorrow in the guild. We have the Ask a Sewie question show tomorrow at 4, and new release patterns. Okay, like a sequined tank top, you know, under jacket. You could get away with that, right? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I need some elastic. I need binding. I think the binding, this purple binding is, ooh, I have some pre-made that I'm going to steal right here. I'm going to steal that. And I'm going to use, oh, this was this one. That's for the bees. But this, I have a binding wall over here. You can't even see it. It's right there. There it is. I was just picking out some binding. Kind of know what I want, but I don't want to use it up for this. Oh. I have mummies. Think anyone would notice they're mummies of this brown. Why is it so hard? I have so many to pick from. It shouldn't be hard. Oh, I know what I'll use. Wait, it's over here though. Is it? Yes. Here we go. No, not that one. Sorry, just a minute. I'm coming back, I promise. This is not the bin. This is not the bin. This. Here we go. You know why it's so hard to pick binding? Because I already earmarked a bunch of bindings and set them aside. So they're not on the shelf anymore. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. Okay. Yes, it's recorded. But that's one step away from pressing your age. Oh. But it's pretty big. You're observing everything now. I just put it there for the first time today. I realized it fits and it's out of my way. So. Hi, Jen. How's it going? Let me move my camera back. Jen. Y'all know Jen Stern? J Stern Designs? It's like having a rock star here in the chat. How's it going? Are you ready for your trip? She's going to be teaching on a volunteer basis, like sewing skills to other teachers so they can go out and then teach sewing. She's going to Kentucky. I know lots about Jen. You missed the blueberry one? It's here somewhere. Actually, no, that was the one that was stolen. You went, okay, wait. I'm sorry, I'm catching up on chat. You're wearing your, I saw something right about Wixton. You're wearing your Wixton top on today that's made out of an old quilt, and it is a lot. That's a lot of Heidi. Yeah, we're talking about, you know, like how we dress in public as home sewists. You went cycling with your sandhill and the bottom strap attachment is no good for it. Okay. Okay. So you know what you can do, Michelle, is you can put a little belt, attach a belt, you know, like backpacks have. You like my top-down view? You have a top-down view. So Jen, I just launched the, okay, so Jen is my YouTuber friend. I finally have another YouTuber, sewing YouTuber friend. Totally recommend subscribing to her YouTube channel. She's doing a series right now on the top-down, center-out pants fitting method. So if you've been kind of intrigued by that, she's kind of breaking it down and kind of analyzing certain aspects of it. Like, okay, what if you select a size for this reason? What if you select the other size for this reason? Okay, now what about this size? Is this scooping the crotch curve or is it not scooping the crotch curve? So she's kind of going over different aspects of it. So I highly recommend checking her out, and just for fitting things in general too. So Jen, I just launched the channel memberships thing, and I have my own emotes. You want to see them? They're really cute. And you don't have to stay either. Okay, here's my 3 emotes that I have. I haven't done the others yet. Where's the enter button? There we go. So, anyway. So I got rip it, so when I'm ripping things out, they can put that. And then the pug is when I'm distracted and on a tangent, like right now. And then I love watermelon, so. The bottom strap attachment should be sewn to the bottom of the vertical seam. Yeah, and that's because they did it for ambidextry, right? Yes, so. So this week is an anything goes week, Jen. So I'm doing all these things in my bins right now that are just kind of sitting, piling up. And I used to have a bag making business. So I found a bunch of cut pieces. They probably won't sell because I don't sell bags anymore. But yeah, the Crooked Hem has a series as well. I haven't checked it out yet. But she's not in my chat. Maybe she is, I don't know. So anyway, when do you leave on your trip, Jen? Yeah, you know, if you look like, I don't know if you all know this, Jen and I know this, but as YouTubers, you can see what your viewers are also watching. It'll say, your viewers also watch these channels, and Jen is always amongst that group for me. I think the other one is Tomcat Stitchery. And what's Karina's channel name? I don't know her. I talk like I know her by her first name. So, oh, you leave Sunday. Oh, that's nice. So you get your weekend first. That's kind of nice. All right, so this is a funny little bag called a clear wristlet. And the whole thing about this bag was that people could use it while knitting or crocheting, whatever you're doing, or spinning actually, because the vinyl is great for spinners. Yeah, see, when you said, Jen, that you said like, oh, I can teach these classes in my sleep, this is like, that's how I feel about, like when, lifting pins and needles, thank you. That's how I feel about like certain things. Like I like our workshops. I have workshops in my community, and I love those because it's like you can throw any question at me. That's what I would like to get paid to do. Can I just react to any question? I don't want to come up with what people need. I just want to answer the question they want. You know, so oh, anyway. Oh, I gotta change my serger thread because I serged a couple of things on this bag. Wow. All right, well, we'll bind pockets first. So yeah, this little bag, it has an elasticized top. It has an elasticized top. You can stick your yarn ball in there. There's a pocket on the front and a little strap for your wrist. And then that way you can stand there and knit with your yarn in your bag and it's drawing off. And if you're not a knitter or crocheter or spinner, This makes no sense to you. The funny thing about this bag is that it's one of those things that was one of my very first products, and people, I always had to explain why it's so good. But once they got it, it was really helpful, you know? And I started looking into these. Bags like this have been around for like 150, 200 years. So it's not even a new idea. Oh, do you have serger videos? Nice. Can you guys see who likes your videos? Nope. That's all anonymous. Just how many? Yeah. So if you want to angrily dislike somebody's video to make a point, they're not going to know it's you. And dislikes are hidden anyway for most people. Yeah, I don't know, Amy. That's not, like, I'm not on, it's fine. Like, I'm not in the eye of the fiber community anymore. You know what I mean? All right, so these pockets aren't bound yet, so I'm just going to bind these really quick. See, this would be perfect for my binding attachment. So let's put the binding attachment on. I was using it yesterday to make something for a video. Where is it? And it worked so good. Oh, Jen, you just, that was, I bet that was one of your most commented videos ever. That knitting community, man, they got opinions. Yeah, you'd appreciate this, Jen. I would go to shows, and I don't want to brag, but my bag company was really good. Like, I did really good. It was one of the better ones. I feel like I was in the top, like, couple of bag companies for a while there, right? I would go to shows, and people would walk up to my booth with tons of stuff in it. I'd be sitting there knitting, waiting, you know, just hanging out, chilling, wearing a hand knit sweater. And always I would get the, oh, but you don't knit. You just sew. God, the snobbery. I'm like, yeah, I knit. Oh, like scarves and shawls. What's wrong with knitting scarves and shawls? I'm like, well, mostly I'm a sweater knitter. Mainly because I had the clothing background. That was what was interesting to me, you know? So, but yeah, I got that so often. It was just like, wow, what does it matter? I make a nice bag. No, Hannah, not this one, but you can get one that does. This binding attachment is specifically for doing woven binding on my industrial. And it's not a permanent attachment. So if you're someone who needs this for like production, you should get a different one. I can tell you all about that if you want to know. I got to get it going though here. Let's see. You dabble at knitting? Yeah. They bet they ate you alive. Oh, it was Jen's that you linked, Anna? How did I not remember that? Because those were good. That's awesome. See, you're in my guild, Jen. Your videos are linked in there. That's so true, Nancy. That's so funny because when I get the occasional person, like remember that guy I had the other day that was like, this video is really good if you just mute her. That's what he said. But I don't want to hear about her mistakes. Like, geez Louise, like I make mistakes. I don't really need to hear about it or something. And I was like, yo, I'm a real person. And guess what? I read chat and comments, buddy. But I felt like that was the thing, Nancy. I was like, well, joke's on you, dude. You're interacting with my video, so thank you. Yeah, all the TDO videos are linked as well. I knew that. I know, right, Amy? I don't know. People just like to be like that. Okay, there's a specific order of these. I think I do this top edge first, right? Top edge first. Yeah, this little binding attachment is, you know, it's not like my old one, but I'll take it, man. It is good. So this is the pocket, and it's designed like this because when you have the strap on the bag, it's going to pull the bag like this, and then the contents of the pocket will sit here in this more secure end. That's why it's asymmetrical, because I'm an engineer. All right. It is so satisfying to watch, right? You want the camera down low. Ooh, hello, cameras. Here we go. Here we go. We really like a little bit of binding candy, don't we? I gotta trim this up because I'm still trying to remember. Okay, oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I remember now. I need a little edge here, so I need to bind for a little bit and then start it. Can't remember how much it is, but that's okay. All right, and then we'll do this one here. This has to be flush, and it is. Okay, we get a little extra. Oh, there's a seam. This, I'm telling you, this little attachment does seams way better than my old one did. As satisfying as this thing is, I do really like just binding things by hand, you know? This side, I just need the fabric so I can mash these together. Okay, but I can't trim. I need this little thing right here. I know that seems weird, but I need it. Well, Jen does not need to see all my cameras because Jen has a professional videographer living with her. And guess what Jen can do, you guys? She has picture-in-picture on her Zoom. Isn't that crazy? Okay. So this is how it should look right here. I haven't sewn these in years, so I'm like trying to remember, so I apologize. Not that it's a how-to, because nobody has this pattern. I never came out with this pattern. That's why all these cut pieces are still sitting here. All right. So we're gonna switch and do the fox. This was one of my like prints that put me on the map. Okay. What? Oh, I picked this. I don't know about this. How good is that binding? Circle, wait, could you have used, no, Michelle. And the reason is, I can show you. Well, I couldn't have used it on the sandhill because that was too thick, first of all. Whoops, wrong way. Here, I can show you. I'm just threading it right here. Like, oh. Okay, here we go. Apparently that was an extra piece of binding on there. I dropped something too. I think my awl, of all things. This thing was like less than $20. Highly recommend it. Got it at Waywack. All right. There we go. I think that's it. Yep. And then your needle comes unthreaded. This is my least favorite thing to do live on camera, Jen. How about you? Maybe your eyesight's better than mine. But, oof, I hate threading the needle. Also, ignore my hands because they're trashed right now. So I think I figured out what happened was I put on gloves last weekend that had poison oak in them. So yeah, I did that. How many layers of fabric can it handle? It can handle a few layers, but not like that. Like you'd have to get an attachment specifically for that, Michelle, because like if you had a wider attachment, then maybe. But you see what I mean? Because you have to account for the thickness, right? So you have to have the top, you have to have the folds be able to fold and adequately secure your fabric. But you also need to account for the thickness. So you would just need to get the right attachment. And you can get a bazillion, million different, I ran out of bobbin. What a jerk. I can't believe I ran out of bobbin. So you can get all kinds of configurations for your binding attachment. You can have them made. It's about $250 to have an attachment made, or more, depending on what you're doing. But you can get a binding attachment for an industrial for $35. So you don't really need to do that, like a standard one. But if you wanted to do something like that specific, you can have it made. And then, all right, we can fix this. Did I throw out the glove? You cringe when you have to thread live too. Yeah. I don't have a super cool banner with my name on it like you. Oh yeah, I like little graphics. I just did that in Canva. I love Canva. And if you make it a PNG file that's transparent background, yeah, you can just add it. I know when you showed me your scene selections, look at my scene selection, Jen. Look at my scene selections. I can't see chat right now. So look, I have the stream beginning. These are what I play. This is my little intro. And then like this right here is, well, that's machine, right? But yeah, each of these, and see, look at all my sources in here. Microphone, alert box, my face cam. Here we go, here's my face cam. Hopefully you can hear me. But yeah, yours is so simple. I remember thinking, this is such a perfect example of how I complicate things. I saw yours and I was like, yes, Saremy. I'm such a freaking overachiever. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to stitch this right here, but look, this is one benefit of this attachment is I can actually sew with the binding attachment on. It's not great, but I can do it. Okay. It's going to try and sew it right here. This is going to be a little awkward. I never did this with my old machine. All right, there we go. All right, so I have these three. I'm gonna pull up my camera just a little bit. Am I? Yeah. All right. I'm gonna leave my little tail. Leave my little tail. This was another one that I didn't sew. This is one of the ones that Rayanne sewed. This binding attachment, I'm telling you, it's really good. I'm so impressed with it. All right, don't cut the wrong one off. There we go. I don't know what glove you mean, Aisha. Okay, so Michelle, I wanted to show you what would happen if I, like, let's say I wanted to sew something that is a continuous piece, right? This is kind of thin, but we'll just do it. So say I want to bind this whole perimeter, kind of like the sandhill sling was, right? Oh, the poison oak gloves. No, I just kind of came to that realization today. So these corners aren't rounded, so it would behoove me to round the corners, right? Like this. This is really bad, right? But so when I go on here, first of all, can you already see the problem? No way, Noemi. Are you serious? That's funny. So while I can get around, like, if I practiced, I could get around corners like this probably pretty good, right? You have a limit of how tight you could do this corner. But here, this is where I'm coming into the problem. So now when I get to the beginning, what do, right? So you'd have to do this. You'd have to cut it like this, like undo it, and then you'd have to also cut this, right? Take this out a little bit, or you could, oh, I should have done a little bit more actually. And then I would have to finish this around like that, right? So it's not ideal. So that's why I always say you have to be able to go on and off the object that you are binding. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things where when we first got it, we had to, it seems really obvious, like once you've had it for a while, it's very obvious where you can and can't do it, but it is a little bit of a learning curve because you just want to bind everything. You can start on a straight edge, but the thing is, when you come back around to meet it, you'd still have to like remove it, or I mean seam rip it, and then like join it somehow, you know? So, I mean, I did start on this straight edge there, but like if I started, like say I started in the middle down here, leaving a little tail like this that's not sewn, that would be good too. So you'd have to like, it just would be really fussy. And so if I shove this in here now, right, and we'll start sewing it in the middle, this would be a better way. I didn't round my corners, so if I don't round my corners, then it's going to be kind of a hot mess, so I should have done that. Here, let me round my corners. Even just angling them will be enough. We'll just do it messy, right? I'm pulling really hard right here to kind of be able to make the corner, right? So even though our binding attachment couldn't do things like this in the round for us, it was still hugely helpful. All right, so if I go up to it like this, pull it out like this, and now I have to fiddle with this, right? And in doing a seam isn't going to work because you only have one stitch. You don't have a bobbin and a top thread. You just have the one. So it's not like putting this right sides together. It would be very easy to do. I would have left myself a little bit more room. Probably cut this like this, right? And then cut this down like this. And then I'd have to fold this, wrap it, and then I could finish it like that. And so I had a friend that would make me do her quilts for her, and I could poke that in. Where's my awl? As I'm really good with an awl, right? I could poke this in here like this. Poke all this in. Fussy, fussy, you know? Like I'm actually good at this, and this would be really fussy. In my opinion, this would be too fussy, right? I'd get this. So if you saw this in ready to wear, it would just be a raw edge like this. They would just stitch it down like that and trim it. You know what I mean? So even though it doesn't do everything, it was still awesome, you know, because especially like doing a vinyl edge, vinyl, it loved binding vinyl, you know, like something kind of stiff like that. Loved that. I'll even show you like, because I'm about to sew this on the bag. I need to take off this attachment actually. I was gonna say we could try and bind the bottom of the bag, but it would still, that's okay. There's just not, you know, like in everything sewing related, there's just only so many shortcuts. Right. Hey Terry, how's it going? So this little pocket went on the front of the little bag. Like this. This would be where my label went, right here. And then this is why I left this little leg right here. So now I have something to stitch down. I think it's supposed to be flatter. I didn't sew these. Okay, Amy, see you later. Like that. And so then when the bag is dangling from someone's wrist, this is right here where your contents would sit. And really what you put in there is like inconsequential. It's not a big deal. Like I put peanut M&Ms in mine, so, you know. I folded up directions. I would put those in there. I would put stitch markers, you know, so. What is this? There's a little bit of, it's a little bit of glue right there. I was really scraping the barrel for my vinyl, but I can clean that off. Sorry if your dog's barking, Noemi. That's so funny. I can't remember what it was the other day, but my dogs were going crazy for something on the TV. It might have been a zombie. You know? There's two. That's so funny though. Ooh. Are you still here, Jen? What's on the agenda for FabFit Friday? Oh, it's not, is it your bodice? You finished your bodice. You're doing princess seams on it now, right? And then you have the cushion that, I know that's going to be a video though, right? It's like I stalk her. Oh, good, good, good. Yeah, I don't think I could handle seeing that big. Sometimes people will share pictures in Instagram stories that they're watching me and they'll have a picture of their TV and I'm like, oh no. It's so funny because I do that to other streamers, you know. I like seeing it big. This is just not how I would set up my production area. I'm running out of space. This isn't how I would normally do this. I can feel it. This isn't gonna reach. The heck? Why isn't this gonna reach? That's not good. This was one of my most popular fabrics ever too. People really love bees. Oh, you're adding a skirt block. That's cool. Is sewing vinyl difficult in any way? Yeah, it can be, Michelle. It's not that it's, I mean, in a way it's sticky because it will grab your presser foot, but my tip, I have a lot of tips with sewing with vinyl, and if you'll watch this particular bag, you'll notice that most of the time I keep fabric between my presser foot and the vinyl. So like this pocket, right? It's between me and my presser foot. The throat plate isn't so much of an issue, but I have had Teflon throat plates. I didn't notice much of a difference. Put B on it. And if you are sewing vinyl, and you don't have to sew a whole lot of it, you can just put a piece of like Scotch tape on your presser foot. It'll help a lot. Here it is. I couldn't find this other one. So Rayanne's machine was more set up for sewing all the vinyl, and she had a Teflon foot. I have one of those. It looks like this, right? You can get a foot for sewing vinyl. So the problem with this foot is you can't really use it on fabric because it really doesn't grab very well, and things can kind of slide out from under it. Great on vinyl though. It's really great on vinyl. You also have to replace them every once in a while because the plastic is so soft, you're going to get grooves depending on how high up your feed dogs are, right? If your feed dogs are up kind of high, they'll kind of wear the bottom of the foot. So she occasionally would replace hers because she'd have like 2 long grooves down the foot. It looked like a buttonhole foot by then. It's kind of funny. And she did all of her sewing using the vinyl foot. It's an anything goes week, Kathy. So right now I'm sewing bags from my old business. You watch Jen and Stacy too, like Jen's waistband method using Velcro. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Nice. The sticky pins. Yeah. Okay, this one is the reverse. Look at that. This fabric, by the way, is an Australian designer. I remember this. Okay, so this one is the reverse. It doesn't matter which way it went. We usually try to do them all the same, but occasionally that wouldn't happen. Oh my gosh, there's just not much. Did I just lop that off? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna cheat a little bit here. Yeah, UFO finishing, exactly, basically. I'm just gonna go a little bit up, like that. Stay inside the seam allowance still. Sneaky, sneaky, right? This feels really weird to sew this on this side. Like I feel really not good at the sewing. I'm actually not feeling that good at the sewing anyway because I haven't sewn these in so long. This one has a nice tail. Little thready. I was really good at protecting all these cut pieces, thankfully. I forgot to do this right here. Is there anyone in my area going to Lambtown? I have friends that are vending there. I was kind of thinking about going, but I think I'm gonna have to be at home. I'm not sure yet. There's a friend locally that if she goes and asks me to go, I'll go with her. But I can't go on Saturday because I'll be here. It's in Dixon, California. And it's actually a really cute little fiber fair. It has kind of a, like a county fair type of vibe. I always joke, like, if you want to get a deep fried Oreo, this is the fiber festival for you. I never knew I needed a deep fried Oreo until I finally tried one and I was like, okay, there's something about this. This is pretty good. It kind of makes the Oreo all like warm and like a little, it makes it like a cake. It fluffs it up like a little Oreo cake inside, and then you have whipped cream with it. It's pretty good. Okay, so I need to do these here, which is the top elastic closure. This one, well, this one's almost ready, but it's also not ready. And then my foxy one. So let's change to the, let's change our thread color here. Need some spools of thread. What was that? Oh. I meant to get this ready before the stream. Sorry about that. What's going on here? There we go. Why do I have a voicemail? Oh my gosh, Terry, that would be so awesome. Yeah, this one, a few years ago, my friends who are really involved with it, they got, I think, on the board or something, and they have been slowly helping like guide it and stuff, because a lot of the people who had been doing that were just, they were just kind of done. They'd been doing it for a really long time, and they were just looking for some more energy, you know, and input, and looking for people to be more active. And so the Clemis guys, Roy and Henry Clemis, who make all these really amazing tools for knitters and spinners, wood, they make all of them. They're really high quality. They got really involved on the board, and then Brooke from Sincere Sheep, and there's others. I don't know them all, but so I haven't been since they've run it, except maybe the very first year they ran it. It was my last year of vending there. But it's very small, but it's also very much kind of, gosh darn it, grassroots, you know? That's what I like about fiber fairs rather than like a knitting show, because it's going to have more of a farm aspect. There will be, you know, sheepdog trials and things like that there. I like that kind of, you know, festival. All right, so what do I think of as the top here? I don't think it really matters, to be honest. Oof. This serger, I have this really wide. Let's make this a little narrower. See, I told you this would be more like a sew and chill week. So many threads. I forgot I still have those ash jeans to sew too. That's awesome, Beverly. I love that. What do you like to knit? It's so portable too, since you are, you know, changing residence in the winter. Every year, that's a craft that you can really easily take with you. You know? And I know there's going to be hand sewers that argue that sewing is portable as well, but it's not quite the same, in my opinion. All right, if I do this side, I'm going to cut his heads off, so we'll put it on this side. Yeah. I love that you still watch too, Beverly. You're certainly a VIP in these parts. Pretty sure I have you to thank for that interview from Love to Sew podcast. And I know it. And all the timestamps you've done. You know, Terry, you're so inquisitive and interested about like how things go together. I think you'd enjoy it, you know. Like I always say, it's like sculpting a garment. If you get into the garment making. And I imagine crochet is the same way. I just don't know crochet and how the construction goes with crochet. You're still up for timestamps. I was thinking that I needed to reinvigorate my timestamp begging and get some people involved in it. But I should come up with a list. You know? Oh, we need to do the tops of these, and then we're done with the serger. And only two, I think 3 of my products had overlocking, and this is one of them. It was pretty rare. Although the top of the little side pocket on the project bag had it too. Knitting is your winter hobby. Sewing is for summer. Oh, I like that. Everything piques your interest. That's so true. Oh, you're learning to weave too. Wow. I want to do this side. My local friend, she just opened a fiber studio. Well, is that what I should call it? I mean, I guess so. She's basically opened a studio that will be available to anybody to work in, and for all kinds of fiber related things. So, all right, so I need to do my elastics, and then we get to assemble the bags. Oh, I didn't do the handles yet either. Oh, these bags are so involved. People would complain about how much they spent, and I'm just like, are you serious? Do you know how much work these are? You're looking for a cute knitting pattern for a vest? I am out of the knitting pattern loop, that's for sure. A list and the format you prefer? Really? Okay. I'll come up with something soon. Thanks, Beverly. I appreciate it. This is the little handle. This is, of all the things, so this was one of the bags that ran sewed, I've said that, but it's also one of the ones that we had another factory make for us for like a year and a half. And this right here, making this strap, this was the part of the bag that they didn't like sewing. You just never know what it's gonna be that a factory just doesn't enjoy doing. And turning this right side out, they were confounded by that. And it's not technically my responsibility to figure that out as a customer, but because I worked with so many factories, you know, with construction issues and solving, that's what I did. I solved production issues and I streamlined all of the designs, right? I streamlined the production process, right? I had to tell them and show them where to buy a loop turner. And then me and Rayanne went there one day to sew with them. Like I brought her along as like my like guru for them, you know, like, and we learned so much from them. It was awesome. But she would sit and sew one for them in front of them, and they were like, oh, because they would do it completely differently. Mind you, this is like after they'd given me a quote. Like they knew how to sew. They were all really, really amazing sewists. They'd just never come across my kind of stuff, and they didn't know of other ways to do some of them. And so it was really fun seeing them share like ideas, and she learned from them, they learned from her. But they ended up not sewing this little strap like this. They were more comfortable basically going like this, sewing it like this without ironing. They would do this, edge stitch it. Or they were like, are you okay if we edge stitch it? And I can't even do it. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. You made a vest, number 4 by My Favorite Things. It buttons up the front. Oh, that sounds, yeah, I think vests are so underrated. Especially in transitional weather. Or say your jacket doesn't like bulky sleeves, you know, so you just need to wear one layer of sleeves with your jacket. I admit, I don't really like this step either. You know? I really couldn't blame them. Especially this Foxy one is going to be a little bit stiffer. It's a home deck weight. Do you now? Vest number 4 by My Favorite Things. Cool, Kathy. I mean, you gotta love coming to a sewing stream and getting a knitting pattern suggestion, right? I would see sometimes Brianne would have a bin of these, a huge bin. And I would just be like, whoa. Oh, yeah, right, Terry? It's a great pattern. It came out really nice. It's sewed together really well. When you told me that the video was up and it was for sale, I was like, how did you know that? Like, I went immediately to her Instagram, didn't see it. But yeah, the Pikes Vest by Wardrobe by Me. I recorded her how-to video. They edit it into their style. So if you like sewing ASMR or you just like watching things sew together, I highly recommend her channel, The Wardrobe by Me Patterns, because I'm not the only one that records her videos, but their editing style is, it's really simple and clean. It's not going to be like, if you run into this problem, do this. What my hands are doing is this, like me. I'm super freaking chatty, right? There's no chatting. So if you don't like hearing me talk, it's perfect. But there is like steps written on the screen so you know what to do. And it follows the directions sequentially. It's very, very straightforward. And all of our videos are like that. And so you just happen to be looking on the site. Oh, okay, cool. Well, it's funny because Libby messaged me recently and she was like, I opened up the Wardrobe by Me sites and I jumped, and it was a picture of Michael on their like newsletter subscriber form. I was like, what? Who's that guy? I think I only wrote down that I was going to sew. How much did I have set aside? This might be all of the ones I'm sewing, to be honest. I think all the others are going to be kits, maybe. I have to be gentler. I was kind of being a little rough with it. I always take my loop turner off the last bit so I can pull hard, you know? Really, Kathy? That's funny. Oh, the men's jeans. Yeah, I figure like that. My wedding ring could give it away. The fact that my hands always look like absolute trash. I literally put makeup on my hands when I record her videos. I feel so bad about my hands. I'll watch like a how-to and they have like perfectly manicured nails or those little like jamberry things. Oh, this one's the easiest one. Oof. So you can't tell me that that loop and stick thing is faster for me. This is just so fast for me. Oops, I say that and now I'm making this look hard. Last one. It's like exercises, right? Last one. Oh, Amy. Amy's still here? Amy Sheridan? Is she the one that went to do errands? No. Oh, well, I don't know who that was. I was just going to tell her we started rewatching Ted Lasso last night. This is another thing. The factory wouldn't iron these, so they would come to us a little wrinkly. It started making us go, maybe we don't need to iron those, you know? Yeah, oh gosh, Jen, do you? I really sympathize with you for that because my mom was a lifelong nail biter and it really ruined her nail beds and she really struggled with it. She was really self-conscious about it, but she got past it. The straw and stick method. Yeah, I just can't do that, Michelle. I could not. If you were like, Saremy, we're going to put you on a sewing reality show. And then that was the first challenge. I'd just walk out. I'd literally be sweating. I'm like, can't I put in a zipper fly? Please. Please. Not the straw and stick method. Do you have Apple TV, Sydney? I bet you do. I think you should watch it. It's adorable. Feel good. Hilarious. Is Elena here? Hey, Elena. How's it going? All right, now we're hot. Now we're cooking with an iron. You have to stop. Oh, but gosh, you know, I bite my cuticles. And look at my hands, Jen. I bet your nails look way better than my hands do. They're terrible. Look at this. It's I've been like clearing brush, and I think because the brush, the like leaf litter under some of the brush has lots of dead poison oak and stuff and other things that are just kind of irritating. And so that started me down this a couple weeks ago. So last weekend, I didn't do that. I actually planted a new bed. Nothing to do with brush. It was soil and potted plants, like literally clean, right? But I put on gloves from the previous weekend, and I think they had poison oak inside of them because I got all of this on my hands, just in my, I don't know how it got in my gloves. So yeah, anyway. No Apple TV. YouTube TV, Prime, Netflix, but no Apple. Oof. We have to have remember when we all wanted to be able to choose whatever channels we wanted instead of all the like junk you get in cable? Remember all those decades, you guys? We were just like, I wish I could just choose the channels I wanted. We finally got what we wanted, and it's just as bad, right? Now we have to pay for 10 billion services to catch everything. Thank you, Terry. You have old lady wrinkles in your hands. I have never seen that, Jen. Your hands are fine. I've never noticed your nails. You're fine. Old lady wrinkle skin. Right, Jen? If we were just like, you know, 20 and cute and we danced a lot, we'd go viral. Who cares about skill? All right, Jen, thanks for coming. That's very sweet of you. I'll try and stop by your FabFit Friday tomorrow. Everyone subscribe to Jen if you like your clothes to fit good. That's all. Okay, last one. To the left, 1, 2. To the right, 1, 2. Okay. All right. Let's go sew the bags together. Look at all this prep. See, it's not the bag. It's not sewing the bag together. It takes a while. You'd like to see it? You would not like to see this. Have you ever seen me dance, Michelle? So you know who does dance during her sewing streams? Is Andrea at Sew to Fit. Yeah, have a great trip, Jen. Have fun. Have a fun sewing vacation. Let me know how it goes. That's awesome. Yeah, Andrea from Sew to Fit. She has like a little like dance moment. She puts music on, she dances. Well, here I am, I'm dancing. This is me. But yeah. I was like, oh, heck no, I could not do that. All right, so I just need 9 pieces of elastic that are, I think, 9 inches long. Four, 5. I have a ruler on the front of my machine. 6. It's actually just that tape. Yeah, she is. Is she still streaming on Saturdays? I haven't seen any of her videos pop up lately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. Yeah, I can't remember what her little dance time is called. It's pretty cute. Okay. So now I'm going to put these, this has a little elastic casing. Oh, I got to sew all my elastics together. This is also something very key. I stressed this to the factory. I was like, you have to sew this, like double sew this. And I said, please do not skip this because the bag will just pop, right? They did skip it once, and I had to bring back all the bags. And I was like, told you. I told you this. It's literally written right here in my instructions. I showed you this. You know, it's like, I know that I can be very verbal, but at the same time, I'm not going to tell you something that's not necessary, right? So. Oh, okay. Is this surgery for her shoulder? How is her shoulder doing? I hope it's doing okay. It was her shoulder, right? Because she fell in a biking accident. Maybe she broke her collarbone. Is that what it was? I think she broke her collarbone. Something super painful. And just sewing was really hard. Last time I saw Jen, she had fallen when she was hiking. She just like bounced back and was like doing her stream. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, so I put this in at the same time that I sew the casing. I'm gonna also secure this. I'm gonna fold it over just like that. And then, I haven't done this in a while. Yeah, for her shoulder. Oh, wow. God, she had to have surgery? Dang. I hope her recovery is really thorough and good, you know, and fast too. Because that really stinks. There's one. Boink, boink, boink. All right. Really missing Rayanne right now. I promise I appreciated her when she worked with me, too. I never took her for granted. I think it's better because she's able to sew. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I popped into her stream like a few months ago. Because I literally haven't seen her streaming, but Saturday afternoons is not a good time for me to watch anybody's stream, unfortunately. And I think that's when she has like a set one, usually. But, and I remember talking with her, and she was saying that. And it was like, oh, I remember what it was. It was like she was back after a while. And so I was like, oh, what's going on? You know, like in the title, I could tell. So. It's so hard. Like if you're someone who is always showing up and doing stuff, and then all of a sudden something interrupts that, you can get forgotten so easily. And it's definitely on the mind of a lot of people who do content creation or whatever, right? You don't, you know, your videos will kind of fall off and stuff. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes things just kind of magically start, you know, having momentum even though you're not there adding to it. I'm gonna put this little serger tail in there. So it just adds to your stress, you know, which can add to your recovery time. Mushroom mushroom fabric. Well, Aisha has the cutest mushroom fabric. I found one more of these. Now watch, I'll sew all this stuff and then it won't go on my website for a while. This one will be easy. I still have the photos for all of these. But like all those double doubles I made yesterday, which by the way, I can't believe you guys stuck around for that long. I thought that was 2 hours and it was 3. We're on 2 hours right now. Man. But all those yesterday were like onesie twosie fabrics. Oh. Not my favorite kind of photography, if you get my drift. If you can't find mushroom fabric at a fabric store, Michelle, you could on Spoonflower. Oh, that's awesome, Elena. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, me either, Terry. Also, like, one time, like, I know for a fact I was following her on Instagram. And then when I just hadn't seen her in so long, and I don't see her much on Instagram in general, but I was thinking of her when I was on there, so I was like, oh, I'm going to check out when was the last time she posted. Here's another one. And see, maybe I can see what she's up to. And it showed that I wasn't following her. I was like, what the heck? I think Instagram does weird things like that sometimes. You really got to keep up on, if you like someone and you're not seeing them, you should check to make sure that you're still subscribed, you know? Wait, oh, mushroom. Oh. If it's on Spoonflower, it won't be called that. You'll have to be really clever, like something that would describe it really well, because they're not allowed to use, I don't know if Minecraft goes around taking down copyright stuff though. Yeah, but I know I was following her and I went and looked at her Instagram and I wasn't anymore. Like, I know for a fact I was, because I remember when I followed her. I remember following her to begin with because I was like, oh, she's on Instagram. Cool. I just followed her on YouTube. I remember following her. And I follow her daughter too because she's a cake maker. My Rosie Cake. So I knew I followed, and I see her stuff, you know. So that's what I'm saying is like, I know I followed her and then I just didn't. I think people also can remove followers. I don't think she did that to me or anything like that, but red mushroom cow. Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, exactly, Michelle, you gotta do that. But she could have also maybe put her account on hiatus. You know? YouTube does that, yeah. I have a friend that has one of those cows. It's adorable. You could just design it yourself and then have it printed. As long as you're not like putting copyright offensible things, you know, or trademarked things in your titles and hashtags, you're okay. Spoonflower doesn't police it, but they do have things prevented. They cracked down on it quite a bit ago. So you can't put, you know, Harry Potter fabric. You have to say boy wizard or magical boy or lightning bolt boy. It's weird things like that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let's say I have an elastic here. But if you put a little picture of a guy with a lightning bolt on his forehead, Spoonflower doesn't take that down. Yeah, you have to really get creative. Like, you can't write TARDIS. Yeah. But once you find it, then you can look at what they call things and you can kind of get a good idea, you know? If you know of a designer who does fabric like that, you can also like find out through directly on their thing, you know, their page. But yeah, it's tricky. Yeah, because I used to, you guys know, I used to do that really big HP thing every year. And they did that crackdown literally like 2 months before our thing. So like the day, it was like within a week of, it was the week after I placed my fabric order. So my fabrics were in the clear. I got all my fabrics. But I needed to reorder one of them. I couldn't find it. I reached out to the designer and she was like, yeah, it was taken down, but don't worry, I'm going to put it back up again. And so what happens is that I think someone comes through every once in a while, like from like Warner Brothers, right? And they say, Spoonflower, you need to take down all of these fabrics. And they just do it because they're not going to fight Warner Brothers. There is merit to some of their claims, but there is not merit to most of their claims. And Spoonflower is just like, don't keep calling your stuff that, right? Police box, here you go. Exactly. So, you know, don't use words that are actually from a book that were made up for that book, you know, like Hogwarts. You know what I mean? So, ooh, Michelle, you just got on the wrong side of the Doctor Who fans. Okay, all my tops are done. All my handles are done. All my bags are ready. Let's start making bags. Okay. Oh, that's fun. Something subtle. Do you think you'd ever design fabric, Elena? Oof, I still had to like really wrench that. There we go. It's starting to take shape. I need a bin, man. Missing all my like things I used to have here, you know, for doing all this. Oh. That sounds kind of familiar, Sydney. What happened? Man, I did see some like crazy drama regarding a yarn dyer right now who hasn't fulfilled orders and stuff. It was like this whole chargeback mess. I was like, oh boy, do not mess with chargebacks. Do not mess with those. If you have a lot of chargebacks, your website can shut you down. Because it's borderlines on, it's fraud, basically. So if you're getting a lot of those, they'll just shut you down. You risk your business. All those bins you made are being used. All my bins are because they're at home. But I used to have like this little cart here. That how I had an empty one, and it would have like all these pieces in their stages. I used it kind of like that. I just don't have that. I'm not set up right now. Was that okay, Aisha? Oh, and said, why are you selling me? Oh. They really do look. That's a bummer that person did that to profit off the mask making, you know? Olympics are going to basically say they need to stop calling it. Oh. I remember that. Like, come on. It's non-competitive. The mini color knitted scarf. There is that fabric on there, by the way, Margit. I've seen it. There's also knitting patterns for it. Yeah, I kind of remember that. It's not even competitive. This is the thing is like, I feel like when things are in the spirit of it and promote things, that's, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's a huge topic. Huge topic. She could have lost her job. She absolutely could have. I've known people to work for Disney, and it is no joke. I had someone work that was in the graphic department, so she did, you know, illustration and stuff. She didn't really like working there because she said, you know, I think she was really creative and like wanted to do her own type of things, and she says, you know, she says it's basically so managed, you know, because they're like, okay, can you just move the eyebrow a little bit like this? Okay. And then they come back, okay, can you just move the eyebrow? It's basically like they're telling you how to draw all the time. So they copywrote the word Olympics. Yeah. How could the Ravel Olympics been infringing on them? And by the way, the Olympics have been around like it's ancient. You know? Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just old drama anyway. But, so like things like if you were doing, I know a lot about the Harry Potter world. So if you were doing like Luna Lovegood's Spectra Specs, you need to make your own design. You can kind of, you know, but the thing is like, if you base it off of what it looks like in the movies, you are infringing, right? And the crazy thing is like all of that stuff was actually developed by Mina Lima Studios. But it, you know, it's not owned by them. But it was their creative stuff. Oh, that's cute, Elena. Sounds cute. An Archer. Oh, I love that. And the Mitchell, nice. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Apple does. So have you guys seen this whole drama about the pattern, all the pattern companies keep posting about someone's like slurping up all the patterns? Like that's the funny, the ironic thing is, to me, is when you talk about stuff like this, but all of us trying to get Shopify to not sell to someone in the first place that has a high risk of fraud, because like, so like when I got my order from these people, there were like 10 orders from this person. They all were marked for high risk of fraud, right? So Shopify's like, hey, guess what? These orders, they're marked for high risk of fraud, which means that potentially this can be a chargeback, right? But the thing is, like, the order got fulfilled immediately because it's digital content. Even though Shopify could have said, you know what, we're just going to hold this order for review, but they don't do that. So me and every other pattern company had this happen to them. I'm tiny, I'm small potatoes. I'm not complaining about it. I'm complaining about the fact that they don't hold the order for review, you know? But, you know, you can't do something like Ravel Olympics without the Olympics coming after you. But Shopify is going to just allow fraudulent sales on your website. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, exactly, Elena. Yeah, and you also, Elena, like if you bought Disney fabric from, say you bought Disney fabric from Joann Fabrics, you can use that to your heart's content. If I bought that and then I made my bags and I sold my bags in it, I can't do that. And so there was a bag maker doing that. And I contacted my vendor because I wanted the fabric. And I was like, I didn't know this rule, right? I was like, hey, you know, my rep was just here, but he never showed me this fabric. And I really would like to have it in my line. And they were like, oh, sorry, that's not available for manufacturing and selling. And I was like, are you sure about that? Because one of my competitors uses it. It was Dr. Seuss fabric. And they were like, no, that's not possible. And I was like, yeah, it's possible if someone's doing it. And what she did, this gal didn't like me, and I don't know why that is. It's not because of this, by the way. She didn't like me before this, and I didn't want to get her busted because I don't want to tangle that with that person. I did not want anything to come back to me, and we didn't have the same customers for the most part. But I was getting requests for Dr. Seuss, and I was like, okay, cool. And then when I saw she was doing it, I was like, awesome. She did completely different products too. So what she was doing was using someone at a fabric store was buying it for her and letting her use it. So she wasn't going to come up on their radar. It didn't even matter. Didn't even matter. They weren't enforcing it on her. Most of it gets shut down too, Elena, like fast. NFL and Disney, do not tangle with those. Like straight up, do not tangle with both of those. The thing is, Elena, with all of those people that have posted those, I am pretty sure all of them are speculating what is wrong with these orders. So the thing is, just to get back to that, I know I'll drop it, but just to get back to this person who bought all these patterns, all this digital content. Like they bought my skill building sessions, they bought my patterns, they've downloaded them like 11 times. Technically, all of them still legal. I got the money, they got the product, end of story. The problem is if they all get charged back, because if they get charged back, that can be a dink against my store. I won't get the money, they'll still have the product, right? All of these pattern companies it makes them nervous, right? Understandably. And so we're all wondering what's happening with this. Where is it going? The person their IP is in Canada and Chicago. And so what I have seen is people are like, oh, they're just testing credit cards. They're not testing credit cards, I don't think, because the credit cards are working just fine. Shopify's like, sure. Have at it. I'm not sure what they're doing. And other people are speculating that they're going to sell them on a website and make money from it. And that's why people keep saying, you can only buy my patterns from, please only buy my patterns from reputable sites. Yeah. Yeah, they're downloading the patterns though. They're not testing credit cards. The credit cards are working fine, I think, so. Yeah, it's happened to so many people. I'll bet it's happened to more people that haven't posted about it or haven't noticed. And so when I reached out to Shopify, they were like, they weren't helpful. It's the first time ever that I was really disappointed because they've actually been really great. I don't care what people say; they're actually really great. But and I've had a website with them for like, I don't know, almost 15 years. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on, but the only thing I can do for the future, blocking the person is really hard to do. And if I wanted, I could manually fulfill the orders, which is probably what I'll do. But you have to go into every single product and do that. You don't just flip a switch. Nothing you have to do is easy with this. Yeah, exactly, Sydney. No, and I think like what this comes down to is that the order should not have gone through in the first place. Because this is the way I look at it. Imagine this, okay? And then I promise I'll drop this. Imagine this. Imagine Shopify, their website, right? It's not like it's a person. It's bots, right? Analyzing all the orders coming through. Shopify, in one moment, saw hundreds and hundreds of orders from one person. All of them they marked high risk of fraud, and they let all of them go through. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Because we get penalized if it gets charged back. You don't get all the, like if you get a charge back, you still have to pay all the fees. I don't know, Miranda. It's like it's almost every pattern company so far that I've seen. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just trying. I'm not worried about it. I really don't think it's gonna hurt me. Because like I said, like there and the thing is, you guys, there's a lot of people that are like, ooh, where's this site at? So trust me, it's all kinds of like icky. So yeah, but the thing is, I don't want, I hate to say this, but I don't want to know about this site. Like if you guys find it, I don't want to know about it. It's just, I can't do anything about it. It's only stressful, and it just makes you feel bad. So if y'all see my patterns somewhere and you shouldn't, I don't want to know. So just don't tell me, okay? There is a site. You found it? Jeez. Yeah, and so like who's hosting it? All that. See, I can't do anything about it. So Just doesn't actually have PDFs. Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Yeah, because I'm not surprised. What irked me was that I saw this come up somewhere and people were complaining about the pattern companies, complaining about it. And one woman commented to me on Instagram, she was like, so what, you're upset that a Canadian got patterns? I was like, what the heck? You trying to make me feel bad for being ripped off? Or guilty? I'm like, don't. Other patterning companies might want to do. The site that exists just steals listings from companies. Oh, interesting. Well, that's good. I mean, it's not a Shopify site, is it? Oh my gosh. So you guys, if they've found it, well, good. Maybe something will happen. Oh. So why are they even getting the download content? You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly, Miranda. Okay. How do I put this together? Okay, this goes here. All right. That goes there. Does anyone have one of these? This is what it looks like, right? Oh, it predates the current. Yeah. Oops, my binding attachment still kind of sitting here. I don't want to lose this screw, you know? Remember how long it took me to find it before? Set it there. Well, I have to admit, like, I haven't refunded it. I should just go refund it. It's just like work. That site is different, probably like 2020. Oh. You would have kept quiet. I did. I mean, I chimed in on the first post I saw. I was like, oh, that's weird. I had this crazy thing happen the other day. And apparently it was the exact same thing. Like the way she started it off was about, you know, saying, oh, please only buy my patterns from these sites, you know. And when I said, like, oh, I had this crazy thing happen the other day, it was another pattern company who replied to me. They were like, me too. And then we all realized it was the exact same thing. So, like, I'm small as potatoes. If you join my guild, all my patterns are free. There's a code. You can get them for free. So I'm not looking to make money on my patterns. It would be great if I did, but it's just never going to happen for me. Unless it was my full-time job. It's not my full-time job, right? I didn't even break even on all my chicken boots patterns. So you can see why I'm not putting a ton of effort into like making product and stuff either. So, because I had them professionally graphicized. I don't know what the word is. I had a professional graphic designer help me out with all the layouts for some of them. She did a beautiful job. Yeah, I just can't, like, I don't know. The whole thing, I'm like, it's interesting seeing people's wording is different for a lot of it and what they're worried about. So, look, I almost have a bag done, so you can actually see what the heck I'm making, because this has got to be like the least riveting sewing content if you don't even know what I'm making. But this is one bag I have a lot of. I love this little bag. My favorite bags were this one and the project bag together, and the Charm Keeper. That's about all I used of my line. Wallabies too. I like those. I like sewing the wallaby. That one's just fun to sew. I think the one thing about this that I don't understand is how, if I refund this person's order, does their download link still work? That's what I want to know. Maybe that's what I should ask Shopify. Because then I would go through the trouble of doing everything. So see, this is the little bag, right? So yeah, so see, then you could put it, wait, I'm looking at the camera and it's throwing me off. So you can put it on your wrist, it's a wristlet. Your yarn's here and you can knit. And your yarn comes out the top. You can put a whole skein in there. It's great for like small projects or knitting on the go. Oh, thanks for continuing to be impressed by my binding, you guys. I love it when you guys are still impressed by anything I do. Oh, I don't need this quite yet. Maybe I'll do all the foxies since I have the binding sitting here. This is probably all I'm going to do for the rest of the stream, just in case some of you are like, are you going to do anything interesting? This is probably all I'm going to do for the rest of the stream. And then I'm going to be done. Because I have to get this done either way, so I'm sort of like, should be sewing when I'm not streaming too right now. But I'm not, because I've got a skill building session to design. So I'm working on that. When I originally made this bag, I'm going to get rid of this seam right here. This binding, it's like slightly thicker. It is effort. It really is, you guys. Like these little ones, they are a little harder to sew. It's like muscle memory basically. But when I first designed this bag, the bottom was round and the top was round. And I would get all the toilet paper holder jokes and stuff like that, which it was like, haha, yeah, that's really funny. And it just got really old. And then I realized that I could just square off the bottom of the bag and it would be easier to sew and I wouldn't have to do 2 circles. Because doing, you know, a circle on top and a circle on the bottom, it was really this one because this one was an actual circle I would sew to the bottom. So it was just over-engineered, basically. I just didn't think the design through. It doesn't need to be round. Yeah, me too, Aisha. Me too. Trust me. And, you know, the way I designed a lot of these was that you could have some wiggle room in the construction part. Like, see, look, I'm trimming this right here to kind of clean it up a little bit. Because, you know, sometimes you don't do a perfect job every time. So you got to have, like, it's nice when you can, your design can have a little bit of wiggle room. Some things don't, you know, and some things have to be really accurate, but there can be a little wiggle room as long as you know how to compensate for your errors, you know, or like if it's one way, too much one way or too much the other way, you know how to kind of bring it back. You know, because you don't want it to be wonky. You don't want the bag to sit like this, you know. You want it to sit nice and, you know, square on the table. So, hey, Rachel, how's it going? It's kind of boring. I'm just sewing clear wristlets. We've talked about all kinds of weird stuff, though, of course, right? So this right here, this little spot here can be a little messy because that's my back stitch. So I'm always trying to hide it. So I kind of pull this fold a little over my little back stitch and then I tuck the tail in there, kind of rounding it. Oh, I still got that little thread though. Let's just pull it out like that. That needed to happen anyway. Are you working, Rachel? Are you playing hooky? Yeah, Jen Stern was here for a while. It was fun. Aren't you guys so relieved I finally have a friend? Oh. There used to be a notch on this, on the vinyl right here, so I would know where to put this. Oh, you know, actually maybe there isn't. Because it seems like it goes right against this, so that must be where she placed it. You're here for the weird. Oh, the one where they have like all the interesting like you just never know what you're going to get when you're there. What'd you get? You get the most interesting stuff there. So I think I need to be really honest about some of the garments that I need in my life, you guys, because you know how I say like, oh, I don't mind sewing knits. I'll sew anything. I'll sew wovens or anything. I think I need to admit that I really don't sew a lot of knits, do I? Where, Aisha? You did? That's awesome. I think the things I need are all knit based. Like I'm literally wearing the same pajama top I have been for so long. And I made those others. I get a ton of use out of those, right? But if you guys saw the undershorts I wear, I am wearing like cut off old leggings for my undershorts and my dresses. So it's ridiculous. It's unnecessary, right? And I just need some more solid t-shirts. I have one long sleeve shirt. I don't sew many knits. And you know what, Sydney? God, I've been meaning to tell you this forever. I actually got some workout fabrics. Sydney, did you see that? Wait, is it you I want to tell this to? Who were we talking? Who we were talking about the do it better yourself pattern place, Dibby. You remember how they were going to go under and then someone bought them and then all we've been seeing is the ads? Did you see they're looking for pattern testers? Is anyone interested? They're looking for pattern testers. I just got the thing yesterday, so you're not too late. If anyone's interested, anyone lurking or it wants to, they do not compensate financially. They compensate with stuff. No way. What? Love to Sew mentioned me? Punk Funkers mentioned me too? I was just listening to their episode. Oh, I think I saw the Jen Stern one. I was actually watching her. Was it with the live stream when I was there? Because I told her, like, when we were talking, I was like, sometimes I watch your live streams. I say, I just don't say anything because I feel like it looks like I'm trying to promote myself if I'm talking in someone else's channel because, you know, it shows that I'm a YouTuber, and I'm not there to take away from whatever they're doing, you know? Oh, cool. Yay for the all love. That's awesome. We love the all. I'm about to use it right now. I'm so glad to hear that. Oh gosh, see, this is what I'm talking about. This little hump here. Kind of, it's my worst enemy right now. I'm a sewing rock star. I don't know about that. I game with the one of my old friends that I game with. He's a young guy, but we met with all of our friends. We all used to play together, and he and I have become friends. I've talked with his mom before, you know. He messaged me today. He's like, you know, I was checking out your Instagram, and you're actually pretty good at that. Hi, Felicia. How's it going? Oh, nice. Oh, I think I saw your comment. Did you comment that this morning or last night? I haven't gotten a chance to reply, but I will. Welcome. Yeah, so the Dibby thing was in an email. The all emoji, I know, right? We need an all emoji. What I need is just free money from Clover. My moment has come. What am I going to do with all this power? Yeah, lady. I'm not usually this weird, Felicia. And if they say I am, don't listen to them. Where does this go? Oh, I have an empty bin back here. Let's throw them in there. This is taking forever. Can you believe I used to do this for a living? Man. You've had a fall basic t-shirt cut out for like 3 weeks, and that's not bad. I had that ironing board cover cut out since I streamed it. I've had the Ash jeans cut out in my bin for over a year. So yeah, and I'm not always live, Felicia, too. I'm live on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And lately, it's every other week. And that's because I have a sewing community. You should check it out. It's free if you're interested. I don't want to bombard you with stuff. I'm always like this. No. My nervous habit is to talk. Not that I'm nervous right now. When my hands are busy, I'm not nervous. So I used to have a business, and it was making bags and selling them, and I decided to finally deal with all the cut pieces I still have left, so that's why I'm sewing these today. This isn't what I usually do. I usually sew a project. But this week is anything goes week. And by anything goes, I mean I'm not dancing. A black band. Wait, what? Barbara, you need an all emoji. And it must have a black band. Yeah. Hey, Cheryl. Yeah, the sewing community is free. SewSewGuild.com. And I do a lot of stuff for it. So I'm not streaming every week. I would like to. My dream... You know, it's interesting. I am very chatty too. You know, when I watched Lauren Mormino stream sewing, I'm like, how does she stay so calm, cool, and collected? And I never see her talk to chat or anything. I couldn't do that. I'm so in awe. I'm so jealous that she can just go about her business, and she's so freaking like grounded. Jealous. But oh, I forgot what I was gonna say now, of course, right? Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Like, do you guys know, like, I'm not big on, like, you know, I don't know, supernatural stuff, right? But that being said, I wouldn't mind putting it out there, what I want, what my goals are, my mission, right? And I sometimes don't really know what those are because I've only been doing this for 4 years and I didn't plan on being a live streamer. I was just doing this for fun to help people sew. I didn't think this would happen, right? Anywho, when the vest came out today, that kind of project makes me so happy. Like, it's just so cool. Like, the fact that I got to sew that and I just got to do it and then hand it off. I love that. I love being able, I don't mind the editing either. I mean, it's not sewing. But that's one of the things. I want to put that on my list of things that I would like to do more of, and that is making how-to videos. And I like the way Wardrobe by Me does it. So I should maybe practice editing like that. Haunted B&B. Wait, what does that got to do? Wait, but not dancing. I don't cook. I'm not a bad cook. I just don't cook. My husband cooks. I bake, though. I'm a very good baker. I like to play video games. I like to work in my yard a lot. I like to run. Those are the things I like to do. I like to eat black licorice. But right now, I am feeling like black licorice is betraying me a little bit. I think it's raising my heart rate. So, yeah, I'm being careful with that. A haunted B&B. No. I am a big chicken. You know how they have, like, the corn mazes that are haunted? I'm like, nope, I'll just wait here for you. I don't like being jumped out at. I just don't. I don't like it when movies look like it's going to be a really cool movie, and then it looks like, and then it's scary. Yeah, I think, I like that too, Terry. No talking. So I think that, that video compared to the one I did for Helen's Closet on the Cameron button-up, that is such a, those are so different, right? Cameron button-up, 2.5 hours. Pike's vest, 33 minutes. I think I have a thing or two to learn. All right. We've got the 3 foxy ones done. I'm getting hungry though. I may have to end it here. Forgot to eat my watermelon yesterday, so I still have that, which is awesome. I think it might be my last one of the season, so I really want to enjoy it. You know, the what makes her videos, one of the things that's really good about her videos, Terry, is, as far as like on my end, is that the way she wants the content makes me provide it in the easiest way possible. And I wish I would do that for myself. So the way I give it to her is, and this is like, we've evolved our process, you know, because we've done a bunch of video projects together now. But recently I said, okay, we've done a bunch of these. What do you like? What you don't like? You know, like how, is there anything, feedback you have? What would you like? And she said, you know, it would actually be nice if the steps were, each video was a step. And so sometimes what I would do is give her like 3 long videos, and it would be in sequential order. But now she would much rather have 30 small videos, 1 for each step. And because of that, like I was doing a video yesterday for me, and it was kind of a hot mess because I was off of the script of the pattern intentionally. But because I didn't write down my own little like, okay, these are the steps I'm gonna do, it was a little bit like, it was harder, you know? So that's what I learned, is that I need to start recording my videos like I do for her, because I think that that makes them really easy to edit, you know? Do I make any sense at all? I don't know. We'll see. All right. This one's really lightweight compared to that foxy one. So, are you guys doing any Halloween sewing? I'm curious. People do that still, right? Why do I not hear about it as much anymore? Because I know it's that time of year. And I know you can kind of drive yourself crazy doing it too, you know? Oof, almost fell off there. What day of the week is Halloween? Let me see. No. You guys all your UFOs? Yeah, that's true. I remember that, Elena. Oh, it's on a Monday. Monday. Well, that kind of dampens everybody's Halloween party. I mean, it is supposed to be scary. You know, my husband's work always does something. I wonder if they're doing something. Like they do a group thing. Lining this up. This vinyl got cut a little into the vinyl itself. So I see a lot of you pinning patterns for the new pattern release show on the Pinterest board. Have you guys opened it? Have Petra's the sewing fairy. All right, Felicia, have a great day. Yeah, happy Friday. You must be in Australia. It's still Thursday here. Have a great weekend, too. Terry was just waiting to say, bye, Felicia. Poor Felicia. She probably gets that way too much. We'll say adios instead around here. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. See, this is when you put those little pugs in the chat, you know. What was I saying? All right, Michelle, see you later. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes, okay, yeah, there's a lot of duplicates. Yeah. There's a lot of, I went in and I I deleted 4. I deleted 4 of 3 different pins. And it was the Hallie jumpsuit, Saley dress, and Mitchell trousers. I always like it. Carrie Ann will pin things in there, and she always has companies I've never heard of. So we need Carrie Ann right now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that's very responsible of you, Aisha, because I don't. I finally, though, just was like, okay, 3 people. Like, I got an email notification 3 in a row, and I was like, oh, that's the Mitchell. I looked, and it was. Oh, you had to refresh it. I haven't seen that. I really need to use Pinterest more. It just seems like such a rabbit hole, you know? This one's going to be easier to sew. This fabric is a lot lighter weight. It's the art gallery fabric. So yeah. I feel like the show is going to be short. There's not a whole lot of new stuff being pinned in that thing. But the curvy database, I always go through and add things off of the curvy pattern database. So if anyone wants to do that, that'd be great. Because it does seem like it's an ongoing list sometimes, and I have to figure out like where the previous month stops. I really want to sew a stocks pattern soon too, and the style art. Ugh, all the things. All the things, you guys. I made a list of all the things so I would feel less, you know? And then I looked at the list and I was like, oof, I do not feel better. Yeah, I know. They're really cute. I was totally thinking of you too, Anna. That's funny. Anna loves Pinterest. They're too 80s for you. Yeah, I think that's the point of those. I mean, they're Joni Mitchell inspired. For me, they're just going to be like, here is my belly. You want to know where my belly is? You don't have to look anymore. That's what pleated patterns do for me. So, and it's like the fit looks pretty good, but on some of them I'm like, you know. Yeah, it is. There's 2 different views, Michelle. Oops. I would like to make them, though. I love the yellow pair they did. The closet core yellow. Smart. I wonder if I have any fabric that could work for. Is that a good thing, Elena? They do? It looks like a trouser, though. Wide leg and taper leg, exactly. But one has the little belt, side belt for the pleat, right? And one doesn't. Ooh, Ooh, that emote looks really scary in the chat. Oh, and either view. Okay. Elena is like our pattern data nerd. All right. I think this is my last one. You know, you won't like, but you don't have to wear it. You got to get it out of there. It's, you know, like, it's tainting your sewing room. You got to get it out of there then if you don't like it. That's how I'm motivating her to finish it. You like that? Tuck that in there. That's awesome, Elena. I have not bought it, I have to admit. A pleat is an instant deal breaker. That's interesting that that's so 80s. You know, Michelle, we need to have a little talk about the limited pant options we had in the 80s. Jeans were a very, very big deal for women. We didn't have women's jeans until like Jordache came along. We were wearing men's Levi's. They didn't have women's Levi's. So all we had were trousers like that. And they were so like workplace-ish. Yeah, Terry. Yeah, you're the boss. I'm going to make Elena a little avatar, and it's going to have like all these little numbers around her head. Pattern data, or Elena, let's see, like the pattern data nerd. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking too. I was kind of hoping that I'd get the project somehow. I don't mind buying patterns at all. Like, it's not a big deal. But sometimes I do hope the pattern will like come to me for a project for someone, you know? I'm gonna sew one more just because I want to see this one. I haven't seen, we called this one Basque because it's a sun print. Yeah, I think like, I like that that Closet Core really nailed how we all felt, like how I felt. I was like so excited when it wasn't lingerie. That's so terrible. But I feel like they totally acknowledged that. They were like, and it's not lingerie. And I'm like, yay. I mean, that's fine, but yeah. The lingerie was fine. I just I don't sew lingerie, and if I did, I hate to say it, I might not go to Closet Core to begin with because that's not what they're known for. You know? I would give it a chance. I really would. But, you know, there's a lot of people that have been doing lingerie patterns for a long time. And they're smaller. And I wouldn't, and they're good at what they do. So yeah, menswear inspired. Lane is like, give me all the pleats. I like double darts. I wonder if Jen Stern has seen that pattern. That would probably be a good one for top down, center out because it's really loose. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they look really comfortable without having the elastic waistband. I agree with you on that. Can you please stop getting me excited about those? Because So what did you, when you said that's the same crotch curve as the Pietra, were you happy about that? You say their stuff fits for you. Yeah, I think that's it, Anna. I think it's great for basics. Like they came out with some very core, basics. This binding is pre-folded and it's like breaking my brain right now to use it. It's pre-folded because I got have you ever seen Mr. Domestic use this wefty thing? It's a ton of work, by the way, to use that dumb thing. Sorry, I shouldn't have said dumb. It's cool. It's just like, oof. Not going to be my hobby. Are you, Taisha? Awesome. That's great. Yeah, that's interesting, Elena, because just about every single person who made the Pietras in the pants fitting thing had to fuss with that crotch curve. I mean, everybody. And I don't think that it was wrong. It was just really interesting. What's that device? Oh, the wefty? It's a way to take binding. Oh, I just ran out of bobbin. So, I don't really know if I have it in me to give a tutorial on this because I'm not good at it, but basically what it is that you will weave your binding, right? So you can take a couple of colors, and so we would put a bunch of these, I'll make a tiny little one, all right? We'll do this. Okay, so we have these three, and these would be like pinned down to a piece of fabric, right? Like this, right? Here, I'll sew them just to make this faster, right? Actually, we want to do this. Oh, I don't have a bobbin, so pins it is. So you would pin this. Yeah, but maybe they could use their Pietra then on the Mitchell. So maybe that'll be a good thing. All right, so we'll pin this side down. All right, just do a quick thing. And so then they would take the other one, and I think that, yeah, let's see, right, like this. And so then you would have a bunch of these and you would weave it through, right, like this. And then you would do your next one. I'm doing a really minor, but you can see now what's happening, right? And for something like this, I wouldn't need this tool, right? But if you were doing the huge ones like Mr. Domestic does, it would be really helpful, right? Because he does really big ones. And I feel like this tool was designed for him. So that's what you do with it, basically. So when I got all my binding made, I was like, I'm going to check out this little device. I think it could be kind of fun to promote it as a way to use the binding. And I did a little weaving, and then I never used it again. Anyone want it? No, I'll keep it. But yeah, and there's two different widths. This is the 1 inch, and then this is the 1/2 inch. Yeah, right, Elena. Yeah, and the thing is, Elena, I don't know if you saw that one of the last videos I did for the pants fitting module about like transferring your crotch curve to another pair of pants, and I was like, yeah, you know what, this isn't actually possible. But you can most likely do it for that because it's their block and they use the exact same crotch curve. So it would be a lot easier to be able to transfer your when you fit to the Mitchell. So there's enough people who did the Pietras that we should mention it to them. Maybe we should put a post in the pants fitting SBS. Yeah, are you on Instagram, Michelle? Or on YouTube? Look up Mr. Domestic. He puts out a lot of content. But you'll see it on his stuff. That's what he does. He does a lot of this. He's like a content creator for various brands, a quilter, and he really popularized this little doohickey. Yeah, exactly. Terry's probably right. I think of him, and there could be plenty of other people doing amazing stuff with it, but I think of him when I think of this stuff, so anyway. I made a ton of binding to test out this thing, and then it's been still sitting here. So I need to change my bobbin. Oh, it didn't wind. Great. Oh yeah, that's a great idea, Elena. Yeah, especially because so many people did the Pietras. I think that they would like that. Because I think that once you have your crotch curve, a lot of people think you can just transfer it to another pair of pants, but I tried it out. I tested it. I made 3 full-length videos about it. I never got anywhere with it. Then I started looking on the internet. I was like, why do people talk about doing this all the time? Why do people always say, once I have my crotch curve, I'm going to put it on any pair of pants I make? And so I looked for that. I couldn't find anybody doing this, like bloggers, YouTubers, anybody. But I think that you would, and I say how I do it, how I would go about it in the video. Like I did successfully finally get a video done. But that would be a good experiment. Anyway, I'm gonna go. All right. Thanks for coming, you guys, and chilling with me during this Anything Goes week. I appreciate it. I will be here Saturday, and I'll be sewing. I'm going to be fixing my Charlie Kaftan. The whole front inset has to be made bigger because it got ripped. I'm going to be adding an elastic one to the back, and then also some more bags maybe. Maybe I won't sew bags. Maybe I'll do the Charlie, and then I'll do my Ash jeans. That sounds more interesting. We'll see. Anything goes. Thanks for coming. Thanks for all the new folks that showed up. Thanks for lurking. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on Saturday. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.